I was just thinking about how you can find yourself stuck. You find the job of your dreams, you find the opportunity of your dreams, and either that job moves away or that uh, relationship, that passion, that place in the marketplace that you had, it moves away. So look, you're starting all over. It's amazing sometimes how we think that we can't exist without this or that. And then when this is that is gone, sometimes I even think it's a God order. That we find out that there's a whole bigger world outside of where we were. Because some of us won't move. I think sometimes God moves things from us so we can finally move from some other things and progress. Because if He didn't cause that company to separate from us, and you cried and it was a sad day, but it may have been the blessing of your life. What if you had extended multiple more years in something that's going nowhere, and then you're left on that day when the Harvey team is being come in and they're telling you to breathe, and you said, wow, I stayed here, I never got a chance to explore, I never got a chance to do this, I never got a chance to do that, I never got a chance to follow up on my dream. Look, some moves away from you are nothing short of a blessing. Sometimes when they sever the ties and cut your strings and cut the cord on you, it blesses your life. Look, no matter how big a reality you have, there's so many more. In sales, I've been in sales a long time, so I know how to cold call in person and on the phone. I know how to knock on a door. Now, that's a gift. Everybody doesn't have that one. And of course, I know how to sell. You spend 20 to 30 years lacing them up, dealing with people every day. But what I found out, why concentrate on the people that don't buy when there's so many more that will buy? You know what I'm saying? Don't be concerned about if you're selling cars and your guy goes and buys the same car you're selling from somebody else. Should you spend time, maybe kind of assess your relationship with the guy? But there's a whole big old world. We live in a world of 8 billion people. So why would you concentrate on the things that are gone when you can concentrate on the opportunities that still exist? If you fail in one city, is the city you live in the only city in the world? I know a guy right now that he's a professional in this city, and a good professional, does things straight by the book, but most of his business comes from out of town. Didn't you hear that a prophet is not without honor, saving his own country and own town and own household and all that? I sometimes get people that treat me like I'm preacher 101, and I've been at conferences in other cities where people say, "Could you autograph my Bible?" And I'm like, "What?" I said, "They don't even listen to me sometime in Memphis, and you want me to autograph your Bible?" Of course, I had to. I said, "I'll sign something else. I'm not going to sign your Bible." But look, why concentrate on the folks that's not gelling with you when there's a whole world? Opportunity is huge. Opportunity is huge. I heard a Xerox rep once, because I did do the copier business. I wasn't with Xerox, but I learned how to knock doors, and knocking doors and walking in unannounced sometimes gets you thrown out of offices. I've been walked out of corporate office building by the corporate security on saying, I've done all of that. But then you walk in on that guy that the copier broke 2 minutes before you walk in the door. And the guy said, "Just get it here today." There's opportunity everywhere. I once sold a vehicle during a mini ice storm in the 80s. I was working at Guatney, and the person got so mad because of the ice and trying to drive over the ice. Is one of those bad ice storms in the 80s that just made an impulse purchase that I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And I'm just going to buy a brand new truck. So in the middle of ice on the ground, snow outside, I sell a new vehicle. Opportunities are always ready. Even the worst of circumstances, they create opportunity. I remember one time it was so cold during that last period that I told you. I walked into J.C. Penney and they were selling thermal underwear. And the price of the thermal underwear was stated. But it was so cold that J.C. Penney vibed with it. They came and put an X through the price and marked it up some more. When you really want what you really want, you'll pay for it. So, look, there's always opportunity. Don't be stopped by circumstances because somebody in the marketplace is dealing with all the limitations that you have in your thing, your ministry, your business, and your endeavor, your nonprofit, and they're making it work. They got dealt the same hand that you did, but they see opportunity. You always got to see opportunity. Why concentrate on the folks that's hating on you? Why concentrate on the folks that's panning you? Many times, just for you still having a dream, that's why they hate on you. You always got to see opportunity. You got to have opportunity vision. Opportunity vision. When they blackball you and when they block you, there's opportunity outside of that. Because I hear sometimes in some settings, a guy told me, he said, man, they blackball somebody. I said, okay. Say they blackball this guy out of a whole blah, blah, blah. Okay. And the whole number that goes into 8 billion. So that means, and then we start dividing. So 1 out of every 100,000 folks won't deal with you because of the blackball. Should you concentrate on that? Or should you concentrate on the 99,999? Just picture Neyland Stadium or the University of Michigan's Ann Arbor or some other large arena. And it's 100, or maybe Cowboys. I don't know if you can get 100,000 people in Cowboys properly, but you can get way up there. But just say it's 100,000 people and the place is packed to the rims and you're going to concentrate on that one. Man, look, there's a great big old world. Opportunity exists everywhere. So why concentrate on the one instead of the 99,999 that you talk to? Don't be scared to go into a new market. Don't be scared to enter a new social media group. Don't be scared to inbox that person. I have an online guru named Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary Vaynerchuk said, do you really want the opportunity you have? He said, if you haven't DM'd the top 5,000 to 9,000 people in your industry, are you really, really serious about what you do? And he say, even from that amount, you might only get 2 responses that are positive, but those 2 responses can be so powerful. Those 2 responses can change your life. As my cousin Tony Curry says, you only got to be right one time. So look, there's opportunity everywhere. Don't concentrate on where opportunity is not. Look at the great big old world. Outside of that small block, outside of that small portion, outside of that small city, out of that small clique and club, because there's a great big old world outside of it and opportunity exists there. Be blessed.